Over 1 billion people in the world are living with some form of disability, according to the World Health Organization report 2020. As part of the global community, Uganda has its portion of persons with disability. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report of 2016 indicates that 12.4% of Uganda's population lives with a disability, the majority of whom are women at 15%. Like elsewhere in the world, as observed in the World Health Organization report, Uganda also grapples with challenges of stigma, discrimination, neglect, and ignorance about the rights of persons with disability. Girls and women with disabilities in their quest for education and health services face these and more societal challenges.
Even me myself, from the beginning, I used to say that I'm not disabled. Because we had that the other first mentality that only the physically handicapped were the what? The disabled. Not until the thorough definition and explanation that any person with a special need or a limitation has a disability. So some schools, because of the sensitization, which still needs to be emphasized, they're accepting, yeah, they can let us put on our hats in schools, though some of us, we got through it the hard way.
Lumu twaliko mu musomo boogera nnyo ku baana abaliko obulemu obuli physical obulabika, naye tebalowooza ku baana abaliko obulemu obutalabika. Waliwo obulemu obutali physical nti ono mulema naye nga bote si kyangu kya kubulaba. Abaana abo bote bafiibwako ddala. Abasinga abasomesa baffe tebamanyi kutunuulira mwana ne bagamba ono tumutreatinge mu ngeri ya njawulo.
Women with disabilities struggle to access health services from distant health centers.
Bamaama basanga obuzibu okutambula okugenda ku malwaliro ago, naddala abaliko obulemu ate ekyo kiyitirira. Ekyo bwe nkugamba abalamu nti basanga obuzibu ate abaliko obulemu.
Ideally, one would expect women with disabilities to find comfort in their families, but in many cases their spouses have turned out to be a source of misery.
Waayitawo ebbanga nga neesonyiye basajja, naye olw'omubiri ogubanja n'oga nti owayika nfuneyo ono omulala oba yanda nnyamba. Naye bwe nafuna n'omulala era ye yakola ekintu kyekimu kyekyo, naye yatuuka n'azaala omwana teyamulabirira, teyandabirira nga ndi lubuto, teyandabirira nga nzadde. Omwana ne mukuza mu bugubi nga nze neeyiiya ku kadaala ako okutali ssente bulungi, kubanga abagula batono, tekaleeta bulungi ssente zirabirira baana. Kale abaana ne bansumbuwa mu ngeri ng'eyo, ne ntawaana nnyo n'abaana bange.
Bwe nafuna accident bwe nti ne bantwala mu ddwaliro, najja n'asanga amagulu bagooze eki bagawanise, sisobola kukola ki, kuyimirira kukola ki. Ye n'akola ki, n'abulawo. N'agenda kuva mu ddwaliro, abaana bali waka ewa maama, babajjayo ewa maama bali waka, ye taliiwo. Yagenda ng'agenza okunoonya ssente obanga buyambi ng'obwo, tiyadde. Saaha ezi ninye maama, ninye taata, ninye nkusasula enju, ninye nkusomesa abaana.
Persons with disabilities are among the special interest groups that the government of Uganda has since 1986 accorded preferential treatment in a bid to ensure equity. The Department of Disability and Elderly in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development spearheads the promotion of rights of persons with disability.
Uganda is a signatory to the SDGs. And in the SDGs, they say leave no one behind. So again, anybody who's running a ministry, even without my influence, is very conscious. How am I catering for people with disabilities? And now you come to our manifesto of NRM. There is also a paragraph for people with disability. And especially education, where His Excellency has said that I think we need to build regional schools to take care for people with disabilities. This is work in progress. And we are now following it to see, is the Minister of Education going to put in the schools Already some of the schools are there, like you went to Akiso School for the Deaf, that's a government school. We have Mbale School for the Deaf. We have a school for the blind here in Mukono. We have a school for deaf primary in Soroti, in Ngora. We have a school for the blind for secondary and primary in Soroti. So I think government is beginning to focus in this. But the president, in the last year when we had the Day of the Disabled, I said, I think we can put the schools to every region. Because if a deaf child is coming from Karamoja, maybe it will be lucky to be in Mbale. But the most appropriate school is Wakiso. So you see the distance is a bit wide.
Women and girls with disabilities are well covered by the Persons with Disability Act 2020.
Our Act 2020, it has given different duty bearers, Minister of Health responsibilities to take care of disabilities, Minister of Education. Article 6, I think, talks about health, about issues of discrimination. Article 7 talks about discrimination. In fact, one thing I'm now following in this ministry is the policy on special needs education. Once we have that policy, then education begins rolling at a very higher speed than the current one.
Kachiri Health Centre, like other government medical facilities, has devised mechanisms of improving access to health services, including sexual and reproductive information to women and girls with disabilities.
At our reception there, they favor them. Even somebody who can't walk the steps can favor them. We have a toilet for them where they can access if they want to go for a short course. You do the triage. After triaging, you see that now this one has a disability. You have to help.
Abasawo bambudabuda bokudabuda kwabwe ndakulaba abaana bange omwana wange n'alama ne muzaala n'abaawo.
So we have clients accessing their ARVs. They can't talk, they can't hear. We just do the signs. And to make matters worse, we don't have that knowledge. We just gamble.
While health workers are still grappling with communication, some schools have taken steps to close communication gaps between teachers and learners with hearing impairment.
We have inclusive education, whereby we cater for all children with individual disabilities. In our school, we have a number of around 11 children with different disabilities. These are in visual and hearing impairment. But our teachers have got the skills of helping them individually depending on the kind of disability that the child has. And we have seen it like in 2019 we had a girl who could not hear but she could see and she could talk. We managed to teach her and she got second grade, best super second grade.
I have a department of special needs education in the Ministry of Education. So for me and with the staff. So when I have issues of special needs, I just coordinate with the staff there. I say, what is happening? What have you put? So you expect the staff who are running special needs education to put the issues of budget where in the process. And these things have already come. I'll give you an example that in the current, when we had the COVID, some schools were funded, like those who are blind, to have recorders. One of the best students we had was blind, but was in Uganda SS. But he was also able to get his information through recording instead of a newspaper. So since he's blind, he would listen and be able to get that information. We only had the challenge of translating education in sign language, and that's where we still have a bit of gap.
Worse still, some girls with multiple disabilities cannot even be accommodated in the education system.
Kati bwe yaweza emyaka ndoza gyali 3 nga tulaba embeera ze si za mwana ng'omulala tayogera, kati awo netandika okumutwalako mu malwaliro ag'enjawulo. Amasomero go galabika ag'abaana abaliko obulemu naye lwakuba ga bbeeyi.
Government ensures availability and access to medicine for persons with disability.
Waliwo omusawo ali ku Ggombolola wali e Kakiri bwe nagendayo ne munyonyola kubanga era nali mutuma ddagala linguliisirize naŋŋamba eddagala ly'abo abaana wano likola ki weeriri.
The challenge of taking care of special needs children is double-edged. Management of their condition is costly, and parents interrupt their workday to attend to them.
Mbeerawo naye mu kunyigirizibwa ate obuzibu ne bw'oba nagezezaako okutundatunda obuntuntu oba kusiika bwakulya ng'obwo omuntu bw'amulaba tayinza gula kyakulya ate ewaka tolina gw'oyinza mulekera teri ayinza kukozesa ng'omuyina ate ng'oba oli awo toba na ssente zisobola kwekozesa ti oba ofune ka bizinensi nga tugeze nga kabeeyi muko ng'olina woyinza omuteeka ssente oba tozirina bw'omuleka mu nju nagezaako ko omuleka mu nju nasanga ensanafu zimulumbye era yali afiiridde mu nju.
Economic empowerment is critical in facilitating access to education and health services for women and girls with disabilities. Women and girls with albinism have benefited from the Ruwero-Rwenzori District Special Grant for Persons with Disability, in addition to the National Special Grant for Persons with Disability. In her parting shot, Minister for State for Disability, Honourable Helen Asamo, not only offers hope and encouragement to women and girls with disability, but challenges them to play their part.
And I want to repeat that the disabled people, let's start fighting for our rights ourselves. No other person can fight for you. You are the expert of your disability. You know your challenges. Begin driving the agenda of inclusivity and the agenda of your rights.